It was a dark and foggy night in San Francisco. The streets were empty, and the only sound was the distant hum of the city. In a small, dimly lit office on the third floor of an old building, Private Detective Sam Spade sat at his desk, smoking a cigarette. His partner, Miles Archer, had just left for the night, and Sam was alone, staring at the clock. It was almost midnight. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Sam frowned. He wasn't expecting anyone. He stood up, walked to the door, and opened it. Standing there was a woman, dressed in a long black coat and a hat that hid most of her face. She looked nervous, her hands trembling as she clutched her purse. "Mr. Spade?" she asked in a soft voice. "Yes," Sam replied, stepping aside to let her in. "What can I do for you?" The woman entered the office and sat down in the chair across from Sam's desk. She hesitated for a moment before speaking. "My name is Miss Wonderly. I need your help. My sister has gone missing, and I'm afraid something terrible has happened to her." Sam leaned back in his chair, studying her carefully. "Tell me more." Miss Wonderly explained that her sister, Corinne, had been involved with a dangerous man named Floyd Thursby. She believed Thursby had something to do with her sister's disappearance. Sam listened intently, taking notes as she spoke. "I'll look into it," he said finally. "But it won't be cheap." Miss Wonderly nodded and handed him a stack of cash. "Thank you, Mr. Spade. Please find my sister." After she left, Sam sat at his desk, thinking. Something about Miss Wonderly's story didn't add up. He decided to start by tracking down Floyd Thursby. The next morning, Sam visited Thursby's apartment. The building was run down, and the air smelled of stale cigarettes. Sam knocked on the door, but there was no answer. He tried the handle, and to his surprise, the door was unlocked. He stepped inside. The apartment was a mess. Furniture was overturned, and papers were scattered across the floor. Sam searched the room, looking for any clues. In the bedroom, he found a small black statue of a bird. It was heavy and looked expensive. Sam picked it up and examined it closely. There was something strange about it, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. As he was leaving the apartment, he heard a noise behind him. He turned around just in time to see a man lunging at him with a knife. Sam dodged the attack and wrestled the man to the ground. After a brief struggle, the man managed to escape, leaving Sam with a cut on his arm. Sam returned to his office, where he found Miles waiting for him. "What happened to you?" Miles asked, noticing the blood on Sam's sleeve. "Long story," Sam replied. He told Miles about Ms. Wonderly, Thursby, and the blackbird statue. "Sounds dangerous," Miles said. "Be careful, Sam." That night, Sam received a phone call from Miss Wonderly. She sounded panicked. "Mr. Spade, I need to see you right away." "It's urgent." Sam agreed to meet her at a nearby park. When he arrived, he found her sitting on a bench, looking even more nervous than before. "What's going on?" Sam asked. Miss Wonderly handed him a piece of paper. "I found this in my sister's room. I think it's a clue." Sam unfolded the paper and read the words written on it, "The Maltese Falcon." "What does it mean?" Ms. Wonderly asked. "I'm not sure," Sam replied. "But I'll find out." The next day, Sam visited the local library and began researching the Maltese Falcon. He discovered that it was a priceless artifact, a golden statue encrusted with jewels that had been lost for centuries. According to legend, it was worth a fortune. Sam realized that the blackbird statue he had found in Thursby's apartment was a fake, a replica of the real Maltese Falcon. He also learned that several people were after the statue, including a man named Casper Gutman and his henchman, Joel Cairo. Sam decided to pay Gutman a visit. He found him in a luxurious hotel suite, surrounded by expensive furniture and artwork. Gutman was a large man with a booming voice and a sinister smile. "Mr. Spade," Gutman said, "I've been expecting you." "I'm looking for the Maltese Falcon," Sam said. Gutman laughed. "So is everyone else, but I'm afraid you're too late. The Falcon is already mine." Sam didn't believe him. He knew Gutman was lying. He left the hotel and returned to his office, where he found Miles waiting for him again. "Any luck?" Miles asked. "Not yet," Sam replied, "but I'm getting closer." That night, Sam received another phone call. This time, it was from Joel Cairo. "Meet me at the docks," Cairo said. "I have something you'll want to see." Sam went to the docks, where he found Cairo waiting for him. Cairo was a small, wiry man with a thick accent. He handed Sam a small package. "What's this?" Sam asked. "Open it," Cairo replied. Sam unwrapped the package and found a small, golden bird statue inside. It was the real Maltese Falcon. "Where did you get this?" Sam asked. "That's not important," Cairo said. "What's important is that it's yours now. But be careful, Mr. Spade. There are many people who would kill for this." Sam took the falcon and left the docks. He knew he was in danger, but he also knew he was close to solving the mystery. The next day, Sam received a visit from Miss Wonderly. She was no longer nervous. In fact, she seemed confident, almost smug. "I know you have the falcon," she said. "Give it to me." Sam shook his head. "Not so fast. First, tell me the truth. Who are you really?" Miss Wonderly smiled. "My real name is Bridget O'Shaughnessy. I've been after the falcon for years. I used you to get it." Sam wasn't surprised. He had suspected all along that she wasn't who she claimed to be. "What now?" Sam asked. "Now," Bridget said, "you give me the falcon, and I'll make sure you're well compensated." Sam thought for a moment. He knew he couldn't trust her, but he also knew he couldn't keep the falcon. It was too dangerous. "All right," he said finally, "but on one condition." "What's that?" Bridget asked. "You leave town and never come back," Sam said. Bridget agreed, and Sam handed her the falcon. She left the office, and Sam never saw her again. The case was closed, but Sam couldn't shake the feeling that he had been played. He had solved the mystery, but at what cost? As he sat at his desk, smoking a cigarette, he couldn't help but wonder if the Maltese Falcon was really worth all the trouble.